I will now create a folder called Vegetable Kamikaze, because I think that Fruit Ninja is kind of old. So I will start doing some of the tasks that I left you to do. And one of those tasks was how to create a number between how to choose a random number between 1000 and 2000. For example, on each cube I may try to choose a new value for selected random number, a special value for just a console log. So I will print this selected number, but I first need to choose really a value for it. So yeah, I will use matRandom, and I don't know by which number to multiply it. I can multiply it to 2000, and this will give me numbers between 1000 and 2000, and I can see them if I press F12 now. Yeah, 1741 and some more digits after the decimal point is a number between 1000 and 2000. I will press one more key, and again I got a number between 1000 and 2000. Well, is our task ready, or am I just lucky? My luck continues, and now it stopped. Yeah, this line of code could also create numbers that are smaller than 1000, and of course this is the line of code that will choose random numbers between 0 and 2000, because each time we multiply matRandom by a specific number, we can get any result between 0 and this number. So one thing that we can do now will actually do the job. We can check if selected random number is less than 1000, and if it is, we can do something, actually a lot of things. We can try to select a new number and hope that at least it will be higher than 1000, or we can take the already selected number and, for example, subtract it from 2000. This will always give us numbers which are from 2000 to 1000, because we've subtracted something that we already seen that is less than 1000. Or one more way is to add it to 1000. Let's see if this is doing the job okay. Well, you can see that all the numbers that I got are higher than 1000 now. Some of those numbers were initially selected to be higher than 1000, and some of them appeared to be less than 1000, so we increased them by 1000, and we are now sure that the result will be bigger than 1000 and smaller than 2000. We got kind of lucky that the range that I wanted is from 1000 to 2000. A lot of the ideas that I gave you will not work if, for example, I choose to select numbers from 3000 and well, again, this looks like it works. I choose a random number to 3000, and if it's less than 1000, I add 1000 to it. So I will get a random number increased, and it will be between 1000 and 2000. But sadly, in this way, I will not be able to get a increased number between 2000 and 3000. And you can see that in all those numbers, you can see that we very rarely get a number between 2000 and 3000. We often get numbers from 1000 to 2000. You need to be really careful when you try to make your own algorithms for selecting a specific random number, because sometimes you will be able to get random numbers but with different probability, and you will be able to have very hidden bugs, and the player will be able to understand and see them after playing a lot. I will show you the simplest way to choose a number in any interval. I will not need any ifs, I will need just a simple formula, and in this formula I will have to think that in order to have a random number between 1000 and 3000, we actually have 2000 different possible numbers. So I will actually not choose a number to 1000 or to 3000. I will choose a random number between 0 and 2000, and I can simply add one more 1000 to it. So to the random number between 0 and 2000 I will add 1000, and I'm pretty sure that the result will be in the desired range. I hope you like those numbers. They are really pretty random, and they are equally possible from the range from 1000 to 3000. Whenever you need to pick a number in some specific interval, you should think of how big the interval is, subtract the minimal value from the maximal value, and you will multiply this to match random, and now you will be able to have a random value between 0 and the size of the interval. You can just now add the minimum of the interval, and you will get a random value from the minimum of the interval to the maximum of the interval. Try this with different ranges. For example, we might decide to make vegetable kamikadze easy for the player, and in the beginning the vegetables to appear only in the interval from 200x to 600, and you can think that this is an interval of 400 pixels, and the minimum of this interval is 200, so you should swap this number with 400 and add 200 to the random result, and this will give you numbers from 200 to 600. But this task could be one of your tasks in your homework. Make the game to be easier in the beginning by creating vegetables only in x between 200 and 600. This will be a task for your homework, and before doing it I need you to do something a bit more urgent, and this is to create a new vegetable with x that is not between some specific or difficult interval. Our x could be even from 0, so we will not need to add anything. We will only need to choose. I will rename those variables to be target x and target y. So I will just create target x to be a random number as big as 800. This was one of our initial ideas, and in one task I told you that this will not be very good sometimes. So now I don't need those lines and I can delete them, and I can just see how my game is now creating vegetables. So I can see that I have error here in the console visible with F12. So on line 10 I've used a variable called myx. Well, this was the line that was drawing the player. Now I don't have any player to be drawn. Instead, the thing that I want to be drawn is the target, the vegetable target that I want to hit with the mouse. This is one of the easiest mistakes, and I hope that you've seen that I made this mistake even while I were writing my code. So now I can see that a new vegetable is born on the random x, and those x's seem pretty interesting. I hope that you are shocked and happy with our new code, but it's not useful at all for the game we wanted. I don't think that we want a new random target x on each of the updates. I think that we want this very rarely. For example, if our target is moving down, I think that I don't need new target x at all this time. I need it now. So I will put this line of code that I liked so much. I will put it in the curly brackets of an if, and this line of code will happen only when I need to recreate a new vegetable. I will put the new vegetable back up, and I will do this only sometimes Perhaps this is a task that we did a lot of times in a lot of previous games. So what condition should I check in this if? Well, I will move the target back up only when it's 2 down, if all of its parts are under y600. Let's see how this is going on. So the target now is moving at its initial x of 0. Now it's at different x. Now it's at different x. This seems fine. Now it's at different x. Perhaps I want to check if everything is fine by moving the targets a little bit faster. So I will increase their speed. You can also think if everything's fine, or just check my code and test it. And I hope that you see, perhaps with this speed or with higher speed, I hope you see the problem with this code. There is a really small problem, but it's ugly, and I want you to think about it. So try to test carefully our code and see when there is something wrong with this x that we choose here. And also try to write a totally new code that we will check if the mouse has hit the vegetable. In order to do such a if, you will need to check a lot of things. I will now give you a little bit of help. And yeah, I will need paint for this. So if this is the target, in order for the mouse to be inside it, one of the things that you need to check is the mouse over this line. This will not be the total solution, because if we are over this line, there are a lot of new things to check. There is a small chance that we are really in the square, in the target, but we are totally not sure about this. What we will be sure about this condition is that if we are under the line, we totally didn't hit the vegetable. So you need to check something, and if it appears to be true, then you will need to make a lot of new things to check. So this is my help for now. The hardest task today will not be placing the vegetable on the correct coordinates, but checking is the mouse inside of the square, and this is the second and the harder task for today, after you've understood what's wrong with those coordinates that seem so fine. It will be easier for you to see the problem when the speed of the target is higher. Good luck!